Okay, so now, what are the key parts of the brief? All right? You begin with the case name. Sounds simple, right? But again, remember, there's two reasons for that. First, when you try, it will help you recall what's going on in the case. But again, there's nothing more embarrassing than being called on in class and screwing up the name of the case. So make sure you got the case name right. Make sure you've got who the plaintiff was below, who the defendant was below, right? What the procedural posture of the case is. Who's the appellant? Who's the appellee? The appellant is the person, when the appellant loses below, he's the person who appeals. He's the appellant. The person who won below is the appellee. Sometimes it's petitioner. Sometimes it's respondent, right? Now again, the point is, these things sound nitpicky. But again, mostly those things, frankly, about the petitioner, appellant, appellee, for one thing, there's nothing more embarrassing than getting who's the appellant and who's the appellee mixed up. But beyond that, to know it's appellant, appellee, petitioner, respondent, they mean the same thing, but again, you're likely to get nailed on it in class, so you want to know that. Okay, so then, the next thing you write down is the facts of the case, right? Facts of the case. Again, remember, when you're writing down the facts of the case, the whole idea is to have this brief summary. If you're writing down all of the facts that are in the case book when you're doing this brief summary, you're defeating the purpose of writing a brief. So you want to summarize, and you want to figure out how to pull out the really critical parts of the case. Now, here's one small hint about pulling out what's really critical, either facts or arguments in the case, right, as you move through. Your case book is going to have edited cases in it, right? You're generally not going to have full text cases. So, here's the rule of thumb for editors, or so I'm told. They leave text in unless there's a reason to take it out. They take footnotes out unless there's a reason to keep it in. So normally, one thing, this sounds counterintuitive, but in your casebook, one of the things that you should particularly pay attention to when you're writing the brief is the footnotes, as dull as they might seem. All right. So now you have, so you need to have the facts. How many facts? Again, you need to have as many facts as it takes in order to have the essence of the case before you, right? To have when they call on you, when you're trying to figure out what the case is about, you need to have enough facts there to know what the case is really about. And again, that's where the learning comes in, right? In trying to figure out what facts are important and what facts are not. And again, you don't want to have too many facts or, excuse me, you don't have to have too many facts because then you've defeated the purpose. But you need to have enough facts. That's really helpful, I know. But again, keep it short, keep it simple, but get all the important stuff down. All right. Then the next thing that you do, the procedure that you follow, the sort of rubric for writing the rest of the brief, is known as IRAC, right? IRAC stands for issue, right? I. Rule, the legal rule, R. The application of the rule to the case, also known, or rationale, but then you'd have IRC, which wouldn't work. And then the conclusion. So that's the basic format for the brief. Issue, by the way, that's the format for an appellate brief or memorandum as well.